Nama saya Denis Chaibi, Duta Besar Uni Eropa. Saya senang berada di sini. So, ada 3 lessons, 3 lessons. So I don't want to make this long, but there is a prize for getting the dinner. Is to listen to not only to me but with the team. We are here with 5 people from the delegation, or 6 people from the delegation. So at any time, interact with them. 7 people. So do interact. Ask them the tough questions, and don't publish what they say. It's more on background, and that's the idea. Otherwise, it cannot be as open. So I just met a few of you before we started formally, and every one of you told me basically the same things. You are coming at an interesting time. What do you think about the elections? So we obviously, you will understand that we cannot speak about the elections. This is internal politics. We have the duty of not interfere. What I can tell you is that for any candidate who will be elected, we will engage. We will engage with any candidate because we highly value the relations with Indonesia. We need Indonesia, and we need Indonesia not only for trade and investment, but we feel that when the world is becoming more and more difficult, it is very important that strong democracies stick together. So this is why we enormously value Indonesia, because it is one of the strongest democracies in the region. It projects it through the ASEAN, and we want to continue the conversation we are having on how we can, work together on certain issues and see how we can make progress. So one of the first issues that I would like to refer to, you saw the images, is Gaza. I know that there is a perception that Europe is either one-sided or hypocritical or double standards. So this is a bit of a perception. But I think it's very important to do basic research. So if you look at the UNRWA website, or if you look at the Palestinian Authority, you can go back to 2010, to 2000, to 1990. Every time you will see EU plus member states is the biggest contributor to the Palestinian people. Every year. And most of the years, the EU and the 27 member states do more alone than the rest of the world combined. So have a look at the figures. But it's not only the figures, it's also the political access. Because if people are one-sided, then they don't have access to both. And for example, now to get the trucks through Rafah in Egypt and Israel, that's a checkpoint, you needed access to both. And some people have been discredited in the recent months for bad reasons. But we could speak to both parties, Egypt, Israel, and coordinate, and we really played a huge role in getting the humanitarian aid across. And no later than Friday, our humanitarian commissioner, Mr. Lenarczyk, announced a doubling of the humanitarian assistance from 100 to 200 million euro. And that's on top of more than, I have to look at the figures, but basically in a period of 3-4 years, we generally give more than €1 billion to the Palestinian Authority and UNRWA. So just to say we are very active, and it was really useful to compare notes with Foreign Minister Retno Marsudi. We had a meeting on Thursday. She briefed all the member states ambassadors. There were 15 out of the 20 who were there. The others were represented by the Chargé. And she explained the Indonesian position on the UN Security Council draft resolution presented by the United Arab Emirates. And I think that member states really highly valued that interaction. They reported immediately to their capitals and to their representation in New York. And there was wide support among member states for this resolution, even if it was not adopted in the end. So I think that this kind of interaction is very useful. So that's the first topic I wanted to broach. Another topic that is in the same vein is Ukraine and Russia. I know that, again, here the perception is that we are applying better standards for Ukraine and for Gaza. In both theaters, we are mobilizing enormous amount of money. We are mobilizing enormous amount of diplomatic energy. But the situation is difficult, and I hope that you can at least look at what are the implications when an aggression of a sovereign country takes place. What happens in terms of legitimacy, what happens to the people.